Great to see everyone. Looks like we lost a few people. Hopefully they'll come back. My name is Jim Kessler. I work with Jacobs. I'm going to show you a quick video here, kind of give you a sense about who we are rather than show a bunch of numbers and repeat things, stats and so forth that are on websites, and give you a feeling about what we do and what we're offering to the entire world.
When we start out in this world, the possibilities are as endless as the night sky. Nothing is impossible. Over time, you might question, you might doubt. But at Jacobs, we always see the world as it can be. We're the curious, the brave, the optimistic, and the grounded. We keep planting the seeds of potential. We're bold enough to explore. We make connections that make the difference. We change the trajectory of how we all live, today and into tomorrow.
We seek perspectives, combining the knowledge of those before us with what we know now. And together, we're able to transform the future. We're a global team empowered to question, discover, and try. To us, everything is achievable. We collaborate, designing solutions that make life smarter, more seamless, and more sustainable for everyone.
We anticipate, calculate, and evaluate, and then act with agility and precision. We look for insights and ideas, pushing the limits of what's possible to create the standard for what's to come.
Whether it's applying our discoveries to drive the world ahead,
ensuring the resiliency of our planet and its people,
or acting with agility to design and protect the smart places of tomorrow.
We're united in our drive to dream big. And as the world's thinkers, visionaries, and doers, we're always pushing beyond.
Okay, so that gives you a little sense of what we do. So we're a global engineering solution provider and offering a wide range of initiatives and practices globally. Everything from large water resource, sustainable resource planning, resilient planning for water projects, say in California with delta conveyance, yellow basins, things like that, to large-scale infrastructure projects in UK, Thames River, to some of the biggest new-term giga projects in Saudi Arabia with NEOM, several of those projects, to even things like right here in Houston, at Johnson Space Center with our facility at Clear Lake, where we're actually helping NASA design the Artemis spacesuit and integrate a lot of those philosophies and approaches across the board. A little bit about myself. I've been with Jacobs for 24 years, architect by education, not registered. I have two roles formally. I'm the global technology leader for extended reality, so working with a wide range of digital transformation professionals to look at and think about what the future is as far as everyone's talking here, digital twin, digital transformation, integration, collaboration across the board. And then another role I have is I'm the global visual media director. So I have a group of about 30 artists, technologists, and developers looking at delivering bespoke visual communication solutions and strategies. And that's everything from mobile application development, web application, extended reality, and then again, the term here, digital twins. And what I want to speak today specifically about, I've kind of got that lineup of here of what we call RealScene, which is our digital twin operating system platform that we're working to deliver. And I'm going to speak specifically about our first module that we've actually delivered and is ready to go to market before the end of the year. And then we'll talk a little bit about the future of that. Then I want to kind of jump off into the more of the, what does XR look like, not only for what we're doing, but what we're all doing here. And again, like I said, it's great to see such great and passionate, energized professionals looking to the future. So to speak a little bit about what RealScene is, it's a Unity-based platform where we've developed a custom user experience that allows all the disparate data sets and resources coming from large data sets that either Jacobs or proprietary has delivered or developed or our clients have, and even open source platforms where we can bring them into a custom user experience that allows the clients, the community, and so forth to engage, learn, and transform their environments. And in that sense, I'm going to go through a list of bullet points here, but there are a number of key things there. We're using these tools in the Unity platform to best drive those experiences to whatever need they be for those uses. And we're using things like the obviously 3D geometry coming from different content, whether it be BIM platforms or reality capture or those things to develop these tools. So I'm going to jump to, this is actually our first module. It's First Responder. First Responder is a training tool for first responders to safely mitigate and respond to accident scenes. It's worked very powerfully to, again, take all of this native data things, integrate them with simulations and so forth to give an experience in both a screen-based environment. It's also cloud-hosted and is headset capable. I'm going to kind of talk through this too as we're going through this. So again, you can see the application in use with the VR headset, first-person point of view. The ability, the environment itself is full 6 degrees of freedom, movement throughout the environment. Speak a little bit to the problem. Obviously, accident scenes on highways are very dangerous. We've probably all been on highways and you see how dangerous they are. Well, they're even more dangerous to people who are standing in those environments to risk themselves during an accident scene. So the idea here is that we want to create a better environment for everyone to be safe, go home to their loved ones, and have a better life. So when we think about what was being done here, it's a historic process here where they would use aerial plots and roll plots and so forth with matchbox cars. And obviously that tactile engagement has a certain level of approachness, and it allows for an integration at a certain level. But when we introduce XR, that's when it becomes much more powerful. So we're going to dive in here. We can actually see the app in working. It's a full environment where we have over 100 assets that can be dropped in. We're now working on 6 different base scene environments, but the power is, and how we're delivering the future will be, we're going to be able to bring things like cesium, black shark, all the native photogrammetry data sets to actually build those accident scenes in their real environment as opposed to a generic one. And there are many more things within the environment, hazard risks, things like that we all have as part of the real-time development. It has the ability to save scenes, open scenes. We're working to be able to bring native content directly into the environment for different purposes. And as it's playing, I'll kind of speak to a little bit about here. Also, the development's application has brought forth so much more ideas about how its application can be used. Actually, they're using this to recruit students in the Northeast and some of the high schools and colleges, because it does give you that sense of what would it be like for me as a first responder? How could I safely interact with these scenes? Or the cases for scenario planning. Well, what happens if this were to happen? So perfect use of extended reality. And in this case, we're looking at, again, a wide range of environments, real time. In the sense, again, as I was mentioning before, we take advantage of the systems available within the native Unity environment with particle-based hazards. So now you can imagine a person interacting with a scene in the environment that they may actually have to encounter it in, and with VR, which is obviously another level of immersion here. So again, we see some application, asset placement, movement. We have an entire system of time of day, weather systems within this environment. It's, again, we've got great feedback. First person point of view. So again, we're working also to have drivability within the environment, so you can actually, the vehicles can be driven to the scene. At the same time here, we can see we've actually got AI-based traffic in the environment. So now you can, in thinking about the scenario planning, strategy planning for highways and DOTs and so forth, they can now look at, well, what happens if a highway were to be blocked off? So it may not be for an actual accident, but what if construction were to occur? What does the process look like? So again, this kind of leads to how we can best take advantage of those real-time environments, by taking this and applying all of these things. And in fact, we've got lots of questions from our users about what would it mean to have a grass fire and how would you interact with that. Well, these are great ideas and great emphasis on what that environment would look like and how we would interact with that environment. So you can see here we're going to change some time of day, traffic densities. Talking about traffic, Jacobs has large data sets with a offering called Streetlight, and we could integrate the traffic simulation directly into that environment. So that's first responder. I'm going to jump around a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about technology and about platforms, partners, and so forth as far as extended reality and our application goes. Some of these are partners, some of them not. I consider ourselves technology agnostic, but I was thinking about the term agnostic. I think it has a benevolent terminology. I really think that we're technology believers, advocates, apostles, where we're open to anything. We're open to what the future looks like. What can we do? How can we acquire things? And how can we build a use case and implementation that's most effective for our users, our community members, and stakeholders? So again, we're not with one thing or the other. And while that may be a struggle at some point because you're always looking to adapt something that's not out there, I think it continually allows us to be critical about how we approach and deliver those types of things. Speaking to one of the next modules we're working on right now is RealScene Smart City. So you can imagine, this kind of leads right into the talk we just had with digital twins, is exactly that. How do we take all of this native data, all this disparate environmental aspects and so forth, whether it be for planning, asset management, in the future, and then combine them. When you combine those data sets that may never have been connected before, that's when you really add value and power to the users to be able to do that. And then speaking to you a little bit more about what I just heard a second ago, which I thought is very interesting, is as far as my group, we're mostly on the front end side, we're not on back end, but we have the ability to connect those databases and so forth. But when you think about a persona or a user, and you want to provide them the experience they need to get to the data they need, and that's where scenes and environments like this, we can tailor. If you're a city planner, urban planner, we have a UI adapted for that. Or you're an infrastructure Department of Waters person, you can now have a different set of data available. So you can build that experience and I think of ourselves as mostly user experience designers or unifiers and integrators of those data to provide the best experience to whatever the end user may be. And so I want to show like a crappy VR picture. Everyone knows this, everyone's seen this, everyone's been there and done that. We are using, and I'll speak a little more about how we're using XR. We're using immersive design collaboration. Many of the tools you've seen out there, we're using that. Community engagement, involvement, a lot of different tools, again, to engage community, have them better understand their environment, the projects that are coming, their future of their environment, and so forth. And then also in terms of what we're just getting that inkling towards, which is the digital twin aspect of it. How do we provide a better world and a better tool for our clients to understand their environment and plan for the future? And then you think about today, too, is it's clunky. XR is clunky, and very much in a sense of that. And it works, and I think it works in very particular applications, which is like we just showed, training. Perfect. Perfect example of how that can be delivered. And in a headset environment. But there may be opportunities where you don't need a first-person environment or a virtual reality environment. You may need an augmented reality environment where we can deliver the same type of tool set from the same platform that offers that best experience for what those needs are. So then I'll jump to tomorrow. So I was saying today and tomorrow. So I asked Midjourney to give me a futuristic vision of what virtual reality would be like for the future in a collaborative environment where people are designing the future world. And interesting enough, I got like 4 or 5 different images all wearing clunky headsets. And you're like, that's not really the future of XR. The future of XR is minimal device interaction, ease of use, immediacy of data, and so forth. But yet there's still, even here, it's got the screen there. And you think about what that screen, it still represents a kind of an antiquated process. But yet, things like what we're doing today really represent the future, really represent a power in delivery throughout our different practices and environments. And so with that, I kind of want to charge you today to leave here today with an idea. And that is to challenge today, think about it critically, and reinvent tomorrow. So that's a pretty quick rundown of what RealScene is and where we think about it. Again, let's just restate. I think the key idea is it's an operating system platform. It's not just a singular tool that's getting applied to one market. It's an idea where you take disparate data, you provide a common data environment, and you do not disturb the data from its native environment. You provide a user experience that best allows people to interact with that data set and those environments. So I'll open it up to questions.
What are some other core places you focused in that platform? Obviously first responder. Is there something else that you're really pouring on the development program that you're actively using like that?
First responder, obviously the first full build out of a platform that's commercially viable. The smart city, we've got aviation, we've got advanced manufacturing, all these other environments that have the same kind of needs for delivering those disparate data sets in a common environment. We're looking at those. We have not started development on that. In fact, I think of one of our core next goals is we've defined the platform. And if you define a platform or an operating system, it has to have a common denominator. What is a common denominator? It's the 3D data, it's the numeric quantitative data sets, metadata, and all those. Combining those disparate data sets as a platform, then thinking critically about what the user experience is. What does that user need to be able to better interact with their environment, do their tasks, and so forth. So we have many other ideas for modules, but we have not developed anything at this point.
For aviation, are you focusing on operating the airport? Are you focusing the traffic in and out of the airport, airside, land? What specifically are you focused on?
Yeah, on the design side. So you think about micromethod simulation, people flows, luggage flows, things like that. That's another ease of integration. In case we've actually done micromethod simulation integration into real time for some of our traffic projects, but it easily has direct applicability from the process engineering, process flow side.
You mentioned that you work with artists and suits. Do you have any extra solutions or extra softwares that you're using for that side of the business?
There are human factor design elements. Those are more bespoke tools. And again, we do a lot of bespoke development for different engineering projects. And we do have human factor design where we're using headsets to be able to appropriately design environments where how large is that, can a tool fit in that environment and so forth. So yes, we are using extended reality for those too. Well, again, I thank you very much. It's great to be here. I'll be around the rest of today if you guys have any questions. I'm always interested in talking to, like I said, passionate professionals about what the future looks like. Thank you.